Hi guys, today I will be showing you this step-by-step guide on how I made this greenhouse in my base in Palworld. So to start off, we'll just start with some stone foundations. I built my greenhouse around this high, but you can make it as high or low as you want. And we're gonna go 3 across and then 5 long. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just fill in the rest of that square. For the doorway, we're gonna use the Japanese style PAL entrance. So just place it at one end. And then to keep things simple for now, we're going to use the Japanese style wall to enclose everything in. We're going to be replacing these walls later with some more colors and textures, but this just gives us a general idea of the layout of the greenhouse for now. So once we have that, we're going to start with making the windows. So I go for a stained glass window kind of look. So we're going to start with the Japanese triangle wall. Press 4 for replacement mode. And we're going to place one triangle wall going inwards towards the door like this. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we have 2 triangles like that, and then fill in the empty gap with the inverted triangle wall. And so for the top, we're going to do the same thing, but the opposite way. So start with the glass triangle wall and replace the wall so you have this triangle half diamond shape. And then do the same on the other side. And then to fill in the gap, take the inverted Japanese wall and just place it in the corner. And then we're going to do the same, almost the same thing on the back side. So make 2 Japanese triangle walls going inwards on the ends. Fill it in with inverted glass triangles. And then make the half diamond shape at the top with the glass and the inverted Japanese triangle. And then in the middle, instead of having a doorway, we're going to use regular glass walls like that. And then for this side, we're going to make some more diamonds. So take the triangle wall and place 2 of them going inwards like this. So you have an upside down triangle. And then fill in the gap with the inverted glass triangles. And then for the top, we're going to use regular triangle walls going inwards. And then once again, fill in the gap with the inverted triangle wall. And then leave one spot in the middle open, and we're going to do the same thing at the front. The regular triangle walls going inwards, the inverted glass triangle walls, the regular triangle walls, and the inverted triangle Japanese walls. And then now for the middle, we're going to delete these 2 walls. And we're going to take the Japanese style fence and then hold down Alt so it locks to the foundation. And then take the inverted triangle wall and place one on the fence like that. And then now take Japanese style door B, press 4 for replacement, and replace that triangle wall. And so now when you open this door, it makes a nice little window that you can't make with just the vanilla structures. So we're going to do the same thing above. So place the fence, place the triangle, and replace the triangle with a door. And then just hop on up and open the door for your window. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. In my base, I have stairs that lead upwards to a doorway. And then I have a pathway here that leads to my main base. But just to keep the tutorial simple, we'll just make things symmetrical for now. But just keep that in mind, you can always make a side door that leads to your main base. So I'm just going to copy what I did on this side to the other side, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now this is what your structure should be looking like so far. So to finish off the windows, we're going to paint them so they look more like stained glass. So go into paint mode And these are the two colors I use. This is the color I use for my dark pink in my build. And this is the color I use for the light pink in my build. So now we're going to paint the windows. So what I do is I take the dark color and put them across like this, and take the light color and put it across like that, just so I have a little bit of a pattern. And so I'll put the dark color there, light color, dark, dark, light, light, dark, dark, light, light, dark, 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 light, 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 dark, dark, light, light. So already you can see the greenhouse looks so much prettier with these colors, but of course you can make the greenhouse any color you want: purple, blue, green, yellow, whatever your favorite color is, just get creative with it. So now we'll take the Japanese slanted roof and we'll rotate it inwards and just place a line lengthwise. So 5 on each side, and then we'll do the same here. And then to fill in the gap, take the regular triangle wall and fill in the gaps at the front and back. Fill in the gaps at the front and back. And then take the Japanese style wall and fill in the gaps between those two triangles. So now we'll climb on up to the top. And here we're going to take the Japanese flat roof and just close in the roof. For the next level of the roof, I take the Japanese style door A and place one at each end going outwards. And then adding on to that wall, use the same door and place one on each side going outwards. Next to those doors, take the plain wall, put one on each side. And then in the very middle, we're going to take door A again, just to close in this space. Now what I like to do is at the front and the back, I open these doors. I keep the middle doors closed, and then just open these doors again. Now we'll climb up one more floor. We'll take Japanese style roof B and cover up the roof except for the middle piece, so 2 on each end. And then in the middle we'll use the flat roof and then take the door A again and make a 1x1. And then to seal in the roof, we're going to take the pyramid roof and close that in. And so this is what your greenhouse should be looking like so far. So next up, we'll make a little entrance area. So take the stone foundation and build it out one tile this way. And then take the stairs. So we're going to use the Japanese style stairs. And then hold down Alt so it goes into the ground. And then what I do is I take the regular wooden fence, place one on each side, and then go into paint mode. And I use this hex color and paint the fence so it matches the wood of the Japanese stairs. So next we'll take the Japanese posts, the Japanese pillars, place one on each end, 2 tall, and then take the Japanese style roof B, and then we're just making a little roofed in section at the front here. And this is what that looks like. So next, going inside, we're actually going to replace these stone foundations with some wooden foundations. I'll show you why in a second. Going into paint mode, I use this hex color right here, a very dark brown. And I paint the wood because I feel like this gives it a little bit of a soil dirt look, which I feel like is very fitting for our greenhouse. Now you can put the planters anywhere you like. You can have 4 in here, 1 in each corner. My base, personally, I have them right down the middle. So I'm gonna put lettuce, tomato, and wheat because they're so useful for salad and for vegetable cakes. So I don't really use any of the other vegetables. So next we're gonna decorate the sides. One building trick is to take the faux flowering bush A and then take the regular feed box and place it right underneath the bush. So now you have a functional food box, but it also acts as a pretty decorative planter. So you can finish decorating the greenhouse however you like. I like to add cherry blossoms, bamboo, some benches, some lanterns. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna go around placing some cherry blossoms, place one here. I'll place some bamboo, place some more cherry blossoms, and then we'll fill the bottom with some bushes. So I use a mix of the regular faux bush and the bamboo bush, and just try to fill in any gaps you have on the floor. Because like I said, I use the wooden floor to make it look more like soil, so the more plants we place, the more of that natural feeling we get. So this is what this corner looks like when everything's fully built. I go for this vibe, and all the corners, just lots of greenery, lots of bushes, lots of trees. So I'll just continue to do that on the other side. So I'll place some bamboo, place some trees, and just play around with rotating things in the placement because we want it to look messy so it looks more naturally generated, like we're outside in a forest. You can use the bushes again to add some pink greenery. So in this corner, I'm going to add a deer scare and some more bamboo. And so this is what our second corner looks like. In the opposite corner, I'm going to add our fountain surrounded by some more greenery. And so here's our third corner with the fountain. And then our last corner, put another big cherry blossom tree, some bamboo, and some bushes. So next step, underneath the windows here, I'm gonna take the plain wooden bench and just place it underneath each window. And then on the side, I'm going to take the house plant and place it a little bit far away from the door on each side, and I'll show you why in just a second. So we'll have one on each side. And so this is what it looks like, but if you want the plant to look fuller, which I like the look of, take the faux tropical bush and just rotate it till you find the sweet spot and place it on top. And because they're both monstera leaves, it kind of blends in and you get this bigger house plant. So I'll do that on both sides. If it's too close to something like a wall or a structure or a building piece, it won't place. So I'm just gonna get rid of this bamboo so we can place it, and then I'll just rebuild what we broke. And so this is what we have so far. And so the next step is lighting. This part of the tutorial is a little tedious, so you can skip it if you want, but I find it makes such a big difference in the finished look. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna climb up here and cut the room in half. So just build floors wherever you can. You might not be able to build everywhere because we built a bunch of trees. And then underneath furniture, take the tire and just place it in random spots around the floor. And so what we're doing for this part of the tutorial is making some floating lanterns. Like I said, it's tedious, but I love the way it looks. It absolutely transforms the greenhouse and makes it look so magical. Just go around and place some lanterns on top of the tires that you build, because if you place lanterns on furniture, it won't break once you break that furniture, but it will break if you place it on a floor and you break that floor. So as you can see, we're just destroying the tires and the lanterns stay. And so this is one level of the lanterns, but we want some height variations. So you can also use the cable reels to add some higher placed lanterns. So just go ahead and do that. And you don't have to wait for the furniture pieces to be fully built before you place the lanterns. And then go back around and delete all the cable reels. And so for the final height of Japanese lanterns, I use the cola vending machine. So once again, just place it randomly around your greenhouse and then grab your lanterns and place them on top. And you might have to hop around to get the right placement for your lanterns. So I'm just gonna go around and delete all the vending machines. And so this is one layer done. So we're gonna go take it a step further. I'm actually gonna delete one roof for now so that we can build a flat roof up top. And we're just gonna delete these roofs so that we can build floors to put our lanterns. But we're going to rebuild them afterwards. Just be careful not to delete too much, otherwise your roof might collapse. So we're gonna do the same thing before, just placing tires randomly around the top of your greenhouse. And then we'll take some lanterns and build on top. We'll take some cable reels and build on those. Just be careful for this layer. Don't build too close to the edge. Otherwise, you might not be able to seal the roof back in with the slanted roof if the lantern's blocking the way. And then once again, the cola vending machine. We'll place our lanterns and then now we'll seal it back in. So we'll break one side and rebuild the slanted roof and then just break all the floors that you were using for support on both floors. And so now we'll destroy these floors too. And so this is what we have so far with the floating lanterns, but I also like to have some floating lanterns on the bottom floor. So I'll just go around. You can also use the braided basket for this, but just go around and build some furniture pieces for us to build some more floating lanterns on the first floor. And of course you can place some lanterns touching the floor as well. And you can always move some bamboo and bushes around if there's a spot you want to put a lantern but it's blocked, and then just replace what you broke afterwards. And so there's a lot of different furniture pieces you can use to get the same floating effect with the lantern. So I'm going to take a stool here and place a floating lantern right here. And here is what your greenhouse will look like at night. It looks so beautiful with all the floating lanterns. So now we're on to the very last step, which is finishing touches. So for this, I go into furniture, I take the big wall ivy and I just place it randomly around the walls, wherever looks natural, just to cover the plain walls and make this look more of a natural greenhouse. And then we're going to do the same on the outside. And so just placing ivy where it feels right. You can even place some above doorways so it kind of drapes into the doorway a little bit. Place some connected beside each other and just go around the outside of the building and have fun with it. And don't forget about the roof. And so now, once we have our ivy, we're going to decorate the front a little bit. So I'm going to use the same houseplant trick as before. So just placing 2 houseplants on the end and then grabbing the tropical bush and placing it on top. And then I'm going to take 2 regular houseplants and we're just going to place it beside the big bush. And I'm going to take 2 regular houseplants and place it beside the big plant. And finally for the front, I'm going to take a regular wooden bench and place it at the entrance. Next, climbing on over to the very top of the roof, I like to take the Yakumo statue and place it right in the middle. If you want to add more lighting, I take the paper lantern and I add it on the edges. And so here you have it. This is our finished build for our greenhouse. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and let me know if you guys want to see more of this kind of stuff. Bye!